Good afternoon, everyone on the internet. Let's see our live stream being live. Right, let me just share this with our Discord. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic day. And then I'll just get up the chat and we can begin. So yeah. Hopefully everyone's had a good day yesterday. I did a live stream. I don't know if people who are watching caught it. Yeah. Let me just change this to live chat and I can concentrate on what I'm saying. We made some progress yesterday, actually on stream, which was really nice. We effectively got to a point in our... is our playlist going to randomize? Yes, okay. Cool. We got to a point that we could actually render the skybox's texture. Whoop whoop. There is another issue. The directional... Oops. Just got to plug in my other computer's screen. Well, other screen. My laptop is where I see all the chat. And it's about to die, so... Okay. We slowly went through systematically adding in different... How you doing, Anna Cleo? Good to see you again, man. So we systematically went through our... what is it called? Image loading code, and we broke it down, and we slowly figured out that, yes, we're uploading nothing to the GPU. Now we have a different issue. The different issue being when we get that texture and we try to display it, it looks terrible. And it looks terrible in very strange ways. So if I just show everyone what we're talking about, assuming that I haven't broken anything. I've worked on this a little off stream, don't get me wrong. So I've tried a couple of things. This is this is where we're at, right? Which is pretty trippy. Not what you want to see though. And I don't exactly know why. I'm rendering the skybox on top of everything right now so I can actually see it. So this is why you see white in the background in these corners. Yeah, just ignore them. There's a lot of... I should fix that actually. I've turned off the view... The far and narrow plane are in reverse order. So let's fix that. I think that's an easy fix. That was just something I was experimenting with. It kind of looks gross and I hate looking at it, so... I don't know if anyone else has that. Where... like, weird textures look horrible. And this is like a one where everything looks gross, so... this will be in... camera code? Where did I put this? Far planes... yeah, camera. Yeah, so let's just reverse these back. So, when you're doing reverse perspective, which is the problem that we have at the moment, things... Now, I don't know what the skybox is going to do, but at least the background is now going to behave. It's not going to look gross, these parts here. Anyway, so it's not affected by perspective because we actually are trying to display this cube here without perspective. So I tried a couple of things. A lot of this is coming down to maths, honestly. Let me just turn down the music a little bit. It always trips me up because the first song on the playlist is super it's super quiet. So I turn up the music and then the next music is always too loud. Anyway, what do we have? We have a couple of things. So I'm setting the projection matrix and the view projection, the projection matrix and the view matrix also separately in the buffer device address. And we are accessing the view just the view matrix here, and we're doing a view calculation here. So we get the current view. We basically get rid of, we basically do this, right, where we get rid of the transformation part of the view matrix, which I might experiment with. I might try and do this with it instead. And then I multiply it by the positions, which are here, and then we iterate over that positions via indices. And these indices, I think, are correct, because when we actually see the cube outside of it being locked to our position, it is a proper cube. There's no weirdness going on there. These are the indices of a cube if you use these vertices as vertices. So that means we don't have to do index drawing. We can actually just, based on the vertices, we can literally just call this and just say the total number of vertices is 36, and then we just plow through each vertex from 0 to 35, I believe, and we get the index into this array here where we have so this gives us the index that's going to index into this. So everything's less than 8, 0 to 7. And then it indexes into this array, which then pulls out one random vector at that position. And then we have a position vector that we multiply by the view. Classic stuff, right? It's nothing crazy. It's not complicated. It's not difficult. However, I'll do it again, but I'll show you. Looks great until you rotate the camera. That's basically what ends up happening, and I don't exactly know what is what, if that makes sense. So I don't know what's correct and what isn't correct in this image. So when I rotate the camera, like, is it the texture or is it the model itself? What is happening? It's really confusing because it's not clear if I need to change the vertices. Do I need to change the direction vector? I believe it is the direction vector. So we're gonna be messing around with this today, and hopefully we'll have a lovely little skybox. We'll reorient. As soon as that works, we're gonna change how the scene looks as well. It's immediately gonna change because obviously I think all the rocks are too close together, and we're gonna scale them up. We're gonna actually have some gameplay starting to roll into it. Well, it's gonna look a little bit more like a game, if that makes sense. I'm not gonna say gameplay yet. Flying around a scene is not really gameplay, but it's something, right? We're gonna have something to do. So all these rocks will be much bigger further away, and also we have this crashing issue, which I need to solve. So yeah, let's dive into it. I'm gonna try just to. So a lot of this is going to be trial and error. I don't know the maths off the top of my head, like exactly what we're trying to do here, if that makes sense. Because we have a cube and we have a cube texture. How do we sample over that in a way that makes sense? Don't know. So really, we are just going to have to look at documentation, try a few things out, and that is how we're going to do things. So the first thing I want to try is what happens if we don't exclude. Okay, we get the transform matrix, right? Which does all weird stuff. So it's locked to our position. Oh no, it's okay. No, it's not. Very strange. Anyway, cool. Let's just do this because I know that locks it to a position, and I'm kind of curious if the way we're doing it is wrong, right? It would be a little bit funny if this was the issue. Like I just solve it like immediately, but we'll see. Very unlikely. So let's just give that a roll. And okay, so it looks like we're back to where we were. Interesting. Okay, if I add projection to this, we don't get the leakage, if that makes sense. We don't get this cube coming out of the sides, this bit here, but we do get like almost an infinite sky. The sky being infinitely small, which I can show you. It's almost infinite, so it looks like that's the same. I don't know which is faster mechanically on a GPU, so I don't really have the motivation to change it, but I will just multiply our view matrix by projection. That's how you get the view projection matrix, so not view times view there. So we just change this to project, we'll get the view projection matrix. And we should see a different thing here. Now, this is what I described. Oh, yeah, this happens when... Hang on, the position is all wrong. So, what do I need the position to be? 0. If the position is 0, which is actually what I need it to be, where it's behind everything, then it behaves kind of normal. But we've seen this before, right? Where it just kind of like locks to a position. It does move. It's like we've over projected, if that makes sense. The movement is too small relative to how far away everything is. So yeah. So it's almost, I know it seems funny to say this, but when I look at this, it's like it's correct, like 100% correct, but the Z value is too big. If you know what I'm saying, like the Z value should be divided by like something. I don't know. So I was looking at the maths earlier for the view projection matrix in my Foundations of Game Engine Development book, but I didn't get very far into it, and I don't really see how that's going to help. We can set there's one thing we can do, right? This is one thing I saw earlier on. So I'm just going to talk through all the solutions to see if I can come through all the wrong guesses that have come through so far. So this looks great again until you rotate the camera, and you think, oh, okay, why? This looks kind of good. Like, it looks way better than before, right? It's like, right, let me just move away from there so it's easier to see. But have you noticed no matter what I do, we always see the same texture right in front of us. Like, I can rotate in any direction and we still see these like these stars or whatever. And because of that, it is confusing. Why? Well, we clearly need to move the Z component as well, but if the Z component is so big that it kind of warps off to infinity almost, then I don't know what to do, right? If I do negative Z, it's also the same. In tutorial codes, they basically tell you to do this. Like, this is the correct thing, but I have a view projection matrix which has reverse Z. Meaning that the Z value is not, I would say, the Z column of the matrix. So there's this is the third column, so the one before that, like say the second column, so 0, 1, 2, that column, the values that do the division of the view projection, of the near and the far plane, are different. And that leads to the depth values scaling from 0 being the furthest thing away to 1 being the very closest. And because of that, I don't get the same mathematical output as like other tutorials claim that you do get if you just say XYZ. The problem is it's not that simple, right? I can't just say minus Z and then everything just works because the Z values are different, right? All we get with minus Z is we look at the other image all the time, right? The other direction. We're facing, instead of facing forward, the texture is facing backwards. So it's almost like to assume this is correct is to assume the Z value is like the position times by the, I think it's far divided by near minus near divided by far kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure what the fraction is, but it's something like that. And because of that, we're getting the values all wonky. It's not like they're too aggressive, and it's hard to adjust. It's like, what is the offset? If I do something like, okay, you know, this is the maximum No, let me think. If I do a, we want it to be closer, I think, like a 0.5. So yeah, smaller values are farther away. So I'm bringing it like 0.5 closer. Like it's still not working. And it's also not, the texture isn't rotating as well. Interesting. So yeah, we're going to be tackling this as best we can. It is true that maybe the view projection matrix, or the one we were looking at earlier. Maybe I need the inverse. I don't know. I really don't know what this should be. Maybe I should get the inverse of the view or something. So this thing, for example, like what on earth should it be? Now everything's rendering on top of it, so like I don't know. Now why is it falling out of the? I don't quite understand. So this is generally what we're going to be working on today. We're going to be doing a lot of like debugging shaders and trying to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing. Again, I'm not too hot in maths. I have been practicing maths recently, which is actually tangentially related to this. I've been doing it more for fun than for graphics, but I'm feeling pretty motivated to continue on with my maths. Hi, Kalia. How you doing, dude? Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, I've just been explaining to the people what we're going to be doing and debugging a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to stick into... Yeah, it's good. Doing a bit of debugging the shaders right now, and yeah, feeling good. Good to be on at normal time instead of streaming super late and getting really tired near the end and making mistakes. So yeah, it's let's crack on, dude. Okay, we have a couple of things that I want to try. We rotate the, what is it called? The, let me think about this a bit, yeah. Yeah, oh, debugging. Yeah, I just woke up. Ah. Nice. I'm part of your morning routine, cool. Nah, it's chill. Hopefully you have a great breakfast and enjoy whatever you end up doing today. Okay, so let's think about this logically, right? So I'm gonna be doing something with the view projection matrix, which seems to fit in. Yo, Dietrich Codes, how you doing, dude? So I'm gonna be doing something that's gonna be fitting into a direction vector, and this direction vector is supposed to sample over a 3D image. Or a cube texture, which is not quite a 3D image, that's slightly different. Oh, brilliant, yeah. What are you having for breakfast? Just out of curiosity. I had oats, just porridge. Just a bit of porridge, no sugar, nothing on top. It was nice. Anyway, direction vector. How do we debug this, right? So that is the question. We have like so many things that we could do. No, again, this all just falls apart. I'm trying to think, like, what can we do? So this feels correct. But something's wrong and I can't put my finger on it. I don't exactly know what it is. Like, I can change this value as well. It does change things, but it doesn't really change things that much. Like the Z value stops being considered. All we get if we do that is we do get like a perfectly intact sphere, but something just does not like nothing renders. Well, that's a lie. We're getting a slight. I don't know if you can see it. There's a slight change when I do this, right? In color. So I don't exactly know why we're only sampling. What feels like we're only sampling like one pixel over and over again in like different textures, or we're just getting like the average of all the textures and we're just kind of swapping between them. So there's like darker over here and lighter over here. Looks inverted. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe we should. Yo, that sounds tasty, dude. Let me. Yeah, I was thinking about inverting the view matrix. I don't know. We could try it. This is like I said earlier on. Today is going to be a lot of. I don't know. Let's just try it. Because I don't know like what mathematically has gone wrong here. So there's going to be a lot of experimenting. So yeah, we'll put this back. We'll put this at 1, and we will invert. Can we invert in the shader though? That'd be nice. No, I'll just invert in the CPU. It'd just be easier. So GLMs invert. Oh, we need to do 3. It's a 4x4 matrix. The view is a 4x4 matrix. That will make the column and the rows different, so we're gonna have to like figure out. So I'm gonna remove the what is it called? If I go into this matrix, this is not gonna work. So I'm just gonna leave this off for a minute, but I want to see at least it sampled correctly over a view matrix. We'll see. We'll probably have to do something else anyway. So the matrix is it off in the infinity direction? Where is it? Okay, let's bring that back. And so we've inverted the view matrix. Okay. No. Don't know. Literally don't know. I don't think anything's changed there. Let's again, I'm just gonna try stuff. Let's do this bit of trial and error, and we get just the kind of muddy grey, orange, gold color, which is not good. We have this, and then we multiply this by the view projection matrix. We're ignoring this for now because I want to separate off the view and the projection matrix for those who have just tuned in. That's why we're ignoring this, because this is a combined view projection matrix, and it means that I can mess around with the view and the projection in the C++ side and not break everything else. But yeah, the problem is, just for people who are new coming in, I do reverse Z projection, so we end up with a different setup. But I'm curious just to see what the inverted projection matrix looks like. No, I think it's generally the same deal. Let's just yeah. I almost like want to change the Z values up. I've been messing around with the indices here, just to see like, oh, maybe I can change the values to reverse Z. Doesn't seem to do anything. I think like I can show you anyway. Like this is what I've been doing, like on and off. Haven't been doing it that much because I feel like it's kind of redundant. It doesn't do anything, as far as I can tell anyway. So yeah, we just get like another type of same problem. So yeah, don't know. Are your shaders being auto copied finally? No, they are for this debug session. For example, if I do change something here, they do compile and then copy over to the Visual Studio solution, but it doesn't copy over to the release or the debug build actual executable. So that has been neglected. I don't know. I will get around to that at some point, but right now, if we do change stuff in the shader, we will see an immediate update in the actual code, which is nice. At least, you know. It would seem seamless if it was working. Yeah, that's true. So it is seamless if you're talking about the copying of shaders to the debug world, which is just this thing, right? So it gets copied to here, but it doesn't get copied in these two folders. So yeah, these get updated. But the rest, when it comes to this view projection matrix, I don't know. So because we got reverse Z, I have turned on the... Interesting idea. What happens if we turn off depth? For the, what is it called? The skybox. Let's just see what that does. Turn off the depth. I mean, it's technically drawn infinite away, so yes, this is false. And this is something I don't care about now. So I'll just disable that just for sure. Oh, yeah. The message you're talking about with the folding cube thing. Oh, it looks so fantastic until you do this. No, all that's happening is it's drawing on top of everything because there's no depth. And we're also just looking at the same texture again. It's like we're locked, if that makes sense, to a... Every time you rotate, like here's what I think's happening. I could be wrong, but no matter what we multiply this by, we are locked in the Z direction. So, sorry, the cube rotates, but the texture itself is like locked in a particular direction. And yeah, and if I do, just for those who are wondering, if I have this optimization turned off, which is, I just do W, X, Y, Z, W, we don't get anything. Well, I mean, I can just say pause, I don't know how to do X, Y, Z, but anyway. Yeah, we get like weirdness happening, and we still look at the same texture every single time. It's just, I just feel like this is a complete screw up on the... I think it's maybe it's the near plane. I feel like the near plane's clipping into this piece of geometry. Yeah, we are getting some strange results today. This is gonna be the stream, I think. It's gonna be a lot of what on earth is happening. Now, in the OpenGL tutorial, it says do XY WW, which means that the W value is now 1 always, because it's W divided by W, which again looks great, but again the skybox just renders on top of everything, and we're still just looking at the same bloody thing. So it's possible that the reason that we're getting this like line here is because we are cutting into the far plane, sorry, the near plane, and that's why it looks so strange, because we have a plane that we're clipping against. And we're looking at the a cube where we can see the insides of it. So I'm gonna mess with the near plane and just see what that looks like. No, I've just had that thought. It's not gonna be like a major change. It's not gonna fix anything either. I'm just gonna like reduce the size of this so it's kind of like dramatic. So that the near plane is so much further away from the camera, and I just kind of want to see, is that clipping with this? No, it doesn't look like it's any different. I would assume that a big jump forward for the near plane would produce a different pattern, but it seems exactly the same in my eyes. I can't really make out any difference. Anyway, now we tried that. I wonder if the W value has anything to do with it. Isn't that normally the imaginary portion of a quaternion? I think it would be the other way around. Quaternions have 3 imaginary parts, so that would be the real. If it was if we were representing a quaternion by a vector. But what this does is it takes the far plane, sorry, it takes the depth, the Z value, and divides it by itself effectively, and we end up getting like Z depth value divided by Z depth value, and then we get 1. To actually get the result we want, we actually use 0, because 1 is far away. Sorry, 1 is where the far plane, near plane is for us. 0 is the as far as away something can get, which is not the normal case for view projection matrices. But we're using reverse Z for performance and lack of Z fighting reasons. So that's just what this is. I'm just explaining all this so I can chew through it in my own head. Hopefully it's educational or somewhat entertaining. So yeah, here's the other thing. Because we're using reverse Z, I don't know what this direction vector needs to be based on this calculation where we do a view projection. So we take this direction vector here and we sample into our texture, which is a cube texture. I don't know what this should be, right? I have no clue. I can just render the what is it called? The direction vector, but it doesn't really tell me anything. It just tells me that I'm sampling over a texture that doesn't move. What I mean by that is, I can show you. It's not that interesting, really. Can I do that and then just? I think GLS has got like really flexible languages. So anyway, so we should see green, black, yellow, and oh, interesting. We see completely different colors. That's not what I expected, actually. Okay, I'm just going to zoom out. Huh. Weird. Why do we see multiple colors? I'm so confused. What I'm used to seeing with 2D textures, at least, is green, black, yellow, and red. But now we see blue and... which does tell us that the... Let's debug this a little bit. If I turn off the translation in the vertex shader, we should see some kind of visual something like this. Let me just load up Paint real quick. This maybe I should see the eyes don't bleed. Go to white. So we should see something like line. So we're just going to do an orthographic projection of our cube. So we should see something that's like, yeah, let's go yellow. Whoa, no, I want a white there. Need to click the fill. There we go, okay. Yellow, it's like yellow. Let's put yellow there. And I'm not going to fill in this face because it'll like cover everything, but like red. And then like green. And this would be black, I think. And so like there should be a blend between the two, so it should be a blended. I don't know how to do blending things but it should be like completely green up here, and this should be almost like yellow, green, and whatever these colors together. So this should be like a white area. This should be quite white. So we should see some blending. So what I'm going to do is turn off this and just see like how, as far as I can tell, that's for 2D textures, right? But 3D textures seem to have an extra component to them, which I'm not quite getting. Yeah. So we should see a cube. Yeah, you're right. I use reverse set as well due to floating. Yeah, that's exactly why I use it. Isn't it rendering garbage, perhaps? It's interpolating them. Yeah, it's interpolates. Is it rendering garbage? Is it rendering garbage? Now I can't even find the cube, which is interesting. Where is the cube gone? Let's go in the middle-ish and just look around for it. Alright, turn off these for a minute. Oh, is that it? I think I just went past it. Where is it? There it is. How do I... Okay, looks... I want to see the other side of it. Oh, interesting. You notice how we can't see the yellow side? I wonder if that's because we never actually see that bit, like when we rotate. I don't know. It's just like we're always looking at the same side of the cube. Oh, where'd it gone? This is quite sensitive. There it is, green. Okay, there we go. It isn't interpolating over these values. I guess, yeah, it's trippy, isn't it? I guess it has to move with the camera. Yeah, 100%. That's the idea anyway. We trap the player inside a cube and basically render a texture over it. But we have to sample over 3D coordinates based on the camera's position. It is interesting the fact that we're always seeing the same texture coordinates, no matter what we do, right? I don't know if that's because we're moving. What I'm trying to understand here is, when I rotate this cube by rotating the view, right? Why isn't the why isn't the direction vector also changing the color? You know, I don't know. Like, I assume this color should be rolling with the rotation of the cube. Like, we should be seeing like when I do this, for example, like different colored faces. But we're just seeing the same. I assume that's how it works, right? But I could be completely wrong and just not understanding this at all. Anyway, let's bring this back. I just kind of want to see what it looks like with a. Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. It's let's do this again, right? So if I just keep rotating. Ugh, I've lost it again. So let's do a multiplication view projection thing. And I just want to see like what we end up looking at. Like, is it the cube? Does the cube's face rotate? Is it the texture not rotating? I can't quite tell, right? Okay, so it's just. So clearly we're just looking at the same texture, right? The direction vector is just not moving. No matter what we do, I think we've seen this before. But like, this black shouldn't always be in this corner. All we get here is the same texture, which makes sense because we see this like super far away view projection thing. It's like we lose the ability to rotate in 1 degree or something, and we just get all of them, to be honest. And even if we say, I don't know, change these values around, like Z, Y, X or something, all we get is like a different problem, but with a different view, as far as I can tell, at least. You know, so now we're just looking at a different side of the cube, and we're just locked to it. But if I again get rid of the view, get rid of this, we do see multiple faces, but the cube falls out of what we're actually looking at. It's almost like the cube is colliding with itself. I wonder. I just had a thought, right? What happens if I'm doing backface culling on this cube, and then things disappear because we shouldn't be. We're like culling things when we shouldn't. Yeah, I'm gonna try turning off backface culling. What do you think? When you pitch up and down, the perspective transform. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think we're on the same page. Let's try that, yeah, because I think I've got backface culling turned on. I think it might be culling the back faces, which is really strange. But something to try. Let's Are those balls for ray tracing? No, they're just visualizing collision detection, so we can actually... assuming that we get past all these visual issues, we can actually see, you know, collision detection happening. And if we're unsatisfied with the collision detection, we can see why, effectively. Anyway, let's get our culling. When do I do the culling? Let's just disable it, if we can. If not, we're going to have to pull it out. Right. Input assembly, culling. Now, I might just turn off culling for everything, just for now, just to see if it makes a difference, rather than worrying about pulling it out and then it doesn't work. Rasterizer, viewport. I might have gone past it. Let's just type in cull. Cull mode. Okay, where is that set? Rasterization. Where? Creation. Okay, sweet. Sampler. No, that's not right. This is the graphics pipeline. This shouldn't be doing something with a sampler. Yeah, okay, so the pipeline creation, it defaults to... which one was it? Vertex input shader. Yeah, we're definitely far away from ray tracing. I might not implement it, to be honest, ray tracing. I might just do standard, like older shadow mapping. But we'll see. I don't know. It might be like 5 years later, and then I'm like, well, everyone uses ray tracing anyway. So, where did I? Sorry, I lost it. What I can do is go to this. Okay, so it's the first one. Gonna turn on cull mode none. Interesting. Have I turned this off this whole time? Alright, I'm just going to comment this out and just compile because I'm not actually sure where this is used. Let me... Yes, we had Pokemon music briefly until YouTube decides to pause. Now we have... I think this is my favourite Undertale track actually, yeah. It was Final Fantasy X battle music, 100%. But YouTube decides to pause things. When you are listening to it. So let's see, we got errors. Yeah, where else is it used though? It's only used here. Interesting. All right, let's just disable it then. All right, put that back, and we're going to change cull mode none to back, and then just see how that affects the thing. How it affects things. We might change it to back as well. So this is none, but I'm kind of curious, right? So if in my hypothesis this is wrong, but back phase, what is it called? Back, right? I just want to see what back face culling looks like for this particular setup. You definitely did. Some of the tracks are like a minute long, some of them are like 10 minutes long, so it's like a bit of a hodgepodge playlist. So what does that do? Ah, that's why we turn it off for everything, right? So that's the projection. Let's change. So obviously we need none for the I am GUI, but I'm kind of curious now. What I want to see is the... Huh. Why is it behaving differently now? I'm confused. We're locked to a particular texture now, and we're not... Okay. Let's just see what that looks like with the regular stuff. Okay, what are we looking at when we do this? So we have a texture, and then we rotate. And we always see the same texture. And are we rendering on top of everything? Yeah. Weird. I forgot if Lulu's or Kimori's sigil, but oh well. Oh my god, getting sigils sucks. Oh yeah. Titus sucks too. You wrote target instead of tangent. Sorry, I wrote tangent instead of... Oh, tangent instead of tangent in GitHub shaders. File... Oh, okay. Yeah, we can fix that. No, I don't currently have a job. I'm currently still searching out in the modern environment. I did have a job, though. But I'm just trying to see, you know, how things pan out with these interviews. There's like, I don't know what has happened to the tech industry. There's like so many rounds of interviews you have to go through now. I won't get into it, but it is pretty annoying. No, not this one is just, I'm just trying to get like a regular graphics programming job. So I'll fix that typo. I think let's just look it up. Thank you for spotting it, by the way. It's yeah, you're right. This should be tangent, which we can easily just change. So it's just here, isn't it? Tangent. Where does that come from? It's here and where? Oh, it's there. Very minor change. Hopefully I don't delete it. Trying to fix something else. Got you. Yeah, so for people who are wondering, my what is it called? My GitHub is in the link of this live stream, so if you're interested, you can always investigate. It's completely open source. But I won't be taking... not that my project's even big enough to have this happen, but I'm going to leave merge requests on alone for now. Just because I want to... It's so early days that this engine is not... I don't know how I'm going to integrate other people if I want to integrate other people. So I'm just not making that decision right now. Anyway, so... X, Y, Z. So we have backface culling. Yeah, totally, 100%. Dude, try finding a job sucks. Yeah. Thanks you. I appreciate that, Dietrich. I gave up a while ago. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there. I definitely don't. You know, if anyone's in that same situation, I very much empathize. Is the job market cooked? No, but it depends what field you're going into. Fields like the general job market seems more bleak than it is if you focus on. For example, I got offered this job, and maybe I should have taken it when I was in my previous job before I got let go. To do something like this is like how if you just want a job in programming, like you need to keep your eye out for these jobs where it was like writing software to take documents like that have been like architecture, like old documents, like really old documents, and the software we were working on was like going to scan. Well, I didn't work on this. Going to scan these documents and like make them like a modern. So sorry, we would get like old historical books, scan them in, and then you would have like a digital version, and that like for some reason required a programmer. At the time I kind of ummed and ahed about it and didn't take them up on their offer, but they're the type of jobs that are more available, I think, that people overlook. Like, getting into Fang is a completely different kettle of fish. But it's like random jobs like that, like that are like more accessible. Like, you have like highly competitive ones like machine learning and game development that are they're much harder to get. So I think, yeah, it depends, and it also depends on your country. I don't want to be like doomer and gloomer, but it is tough out there, even for those simple jobs. But yeah. No, don't buy into doomerism at all. 100%. The need for engine, isn't. Yeah, exactly. Right now, I make cheats in C++, so I can make money from it. But I want to create something of my own. Go ahead, yeah. There's nothing stopping you doing that, dude. But the problem is, if you're relying on that income for, like, I know you're 17 and that, but it's I don't know what your living situation is. So I understand, you know, you just can start making something. Just don't use AI and stuff, you know, to I harp on about that too much, but especially when you're young, you should be investing in your development as a software engineer more than the projects that you make. Like, consider like you're giving yourself a loan, and the learning process is going to be slow, but if you stick with that, like not many people do, and you'll be in a much better situation to navigate the waters, no matter how choppy they get. Trust me, if I started coding at 19 and I took lots of breaks, if I didn't do that, I'd be much better. But it's tough. I understand. It's like Unc telling me to lock in. Yeah. I hear it every day. But, you know, there is some truth to it. So what have I done wrong? With this, not the maths is getting me. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, get into HTTP networking is also an option. So when I'm trying to do this multiplication, it's not working, so I don't get the direction vector that I want, and I don't exactly know how to debug this very well. So it's tough because I don't know how to rotate the direction vector in a way that makes sense for it. So I'm going to try 0 again. So today we're going to be a lot of experimenting. Oh, interesting. And I think that's because we've turned backface culling on. Whoa, sorry about that flashing. Yeah, let's not do that again. That was unexpected. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be. Let's see what else we can do. So we have front face, back face. So I'm gonna turn on culling and just see if we can disable front face and back face. Maybe I don't know. So I'm just gonna try a couple of things. If anyone's like really hot on matrix multiplication, let me know. I'm a bit weak on that. I'm gonna have to grind away at math for a while. So we have front, which is doing what? So this is what we're doing here, apparently. Now, if we turn off counterclockwise, let's go clockwise. I mean, the winding of the polygons don't really matter, but I am kind of curious to see what the differences are. Okay, so yeah, so the rendering orders backwards, which is understandable. But yeah, we're not getting anything anyway, so I'm going to avoid the flashing and just get out of this. And just say that we had it right to begin with. which is unfortunate because I wanted to see. I thought that was a good idea. Yo, Jerry, how you doing, dude? Good to see you, my man. Hope you're having a great day. I wrote my code and stuff into ChatGPT and Claude to spot errors. I'm 16 and I started to code when I'm 14. That's good if you're taking notes and you're learning from it. What I'm saying is when people use AI to like write the code for them, and they worry about the end product rather than the process of going through and actually making something. Because it's much easier to be like, I just want to make a game. Where's the button where it says play game? You know, make a game. That's what I see a lot of people using AI for. But it sounds like, from what I've seen, a lot of people are using it in novel ways, which is fantastic, like you just described. I've heard some people. Okay, so that's the 0th. I've heard all sorts of ways of people using AI, and it's actually more positive than I expected. I saw, but I have come into contact with people on stream who say like, I don't know how to code very well, and what they end up doing is just like relying on AI all the time, and they don't ever get it. They don't ever get better. Anyway, so fantastic. Doing great. What are you working on? I'm working on trying to get this Matrix working, but this is a game engine, trying to make a little space game. I'm reading C++ Primer. I think I've read some of that. Yeah, and some books recommended by Coding Jesus. You can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with anything he recommends, especially if you want to go in the quant space. Yeah, so we're trying to correct this issue here where we have some weird rotation happening with the sky, which is we're trying to sample over a 3D texture. It's just not working. Something to note is neither Escape Point or I grew up with influence. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't mind Coding Jesus, to be honest. I feel like his advice is very good. It's very it's for the quant space and getting good at the C++ and the standard itself. Like memorizing, like, I don't know, like what specific templates do and all that kind of thing. Whereas I'm not that interested in that at all. You'll see my code is very basic from a implementation point of view. It's like, but I like it that way. I think that allows for me to make optimizations easier rather than having to rely on the C++ standard. I actually don't use the C++ standard apart from one case, which I'm probably going to remove. You won't see any C++ standard. Sorry, when I say C++ standard, I mean the standard template library. That's the standard is what the compilers are. My apologies there. But yeah, you won't see any like standard vector, etc. And that there is a reason behind that, but I won't harp on about it too much. Keep it, looks cool, looks trippy, yeah. No, it's fine. It's a D-treat. Yeah. I hope I don't sound rude. It's supposed to be empowering advice. Nothing against Coding Jesus at all. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm with you with D-tree. I'm just explaining like why I personally like him and what his advice is really, who it's for, effectively. As someone who has experience, I can see what he's trying to do. And there are many ways to skin a cat, as people say. So, yes. Anyway, so what can I try next? That is the next question, because I'm starting to run out of things to try. Let me think. Scene buffer reference dot scene. We need a local variable because we're modifying it, and then we set the transformation part to 0. What's interesting about this? If I just throw this back, get rid of this. What I'm going to try and see is the cube itself, right? The cube is just a 1x1 cube, so it's actually just sitting here. But what I want to do is try and figure out how this sampling works. Because that's almost correct, right? So if we're actually in the middle of the cube and then we rotate, does this change? No, we're still locked in the same direction, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, no matter what. So that doesn't change how we rotate, it just changes the extreme, how extreme the perspective is. Oh, so tricky. Let me look at, what do I need to look at? I want to look at some matrix perspective stuff, which is... So I'm just going to look up like reverse Z, because that actually goes through a lot of the matrices that we're going to be working with. I'm not very good at... what are your thoughts on... Oh, sorry, I missed a bunch. What are your thoughts on Mythos? I'm not entirely sure what Mythos is, Jerry. You can fill me in. Right now, I'm thinking of learning more system level programming and C++, but I'm not sure what direction to go in. I like Web 3. I also like Quant, but Quant is very hard and maths heavy, and you're not that good at... and you're not... Okay, so I had a thought about this earlier. This is just an observation. I feel like being good at maths is a force multiplier, but it's not dramatic. So let's just say you're absolutely amazing at programming, and you're absolutely amazing at maths. That's like a 20% buff on your current programming ability, but which would be a massive increase in ability, right? So I'm gonna go on. But if you're like really bad at programming and you're really good at maths, like you don't really get that much benefit from like a 20% increase on your programming ability, because the base is so small. It's like, let's just say your skill level is 1, 20% more than that is like 1.2, right? So, but if you're like, you know, level 1 billion, like 20% more than that is like massive, right? So I wouldn't worry too much about maths. I think maths is also very specific to the domain that you're in. So yeah, just do, especially if you're 17, bro, just do what takes your fancy, drop stuff, pick stuff up again. You'll settle into stuff as you get older. But if you keep being persistent and trying new things, you'll eventually get really good and you'll be able to make better decisions because you'll be more experienced. Anyway, but that, yeah, it's just what I was thinking about earlier when I was doing some maths. It's just doing it for fun. I think OpenGL has like, there's like a great article, but it's like OpenGL focused and it's like strange. No, I don't think this is it, but maybe we can work with it. So that's the, okay, so this is the, right. What I'm interested in, okay, so this is almost the same as I was reading earlier. My book has this in, it has this all in. So I read all this earlier. That's the plane. That's the actual angle here. Well, 1 over the angle. Yeah, I don't really have any super strong opinions about AI because I don't really know anything about AI. I'm also not that interested in AI, so I don't feel like I need to know all the ins and outs of AI. I just think for people who are learning, my only strong opinion is if you're learning how to code and you're new, don't outsource your thinking to AI. That's it. That's my strongest opinion on AI, and that's just to help people who are new, really. Other opinions about this and that about AI, I'm just not an AI researcher, so I don't really know. Okay, so this means that the point, okay, so what are we interested in here? So this is the projection matrix. So he's actually constructed the projection matrix, and I think this is the, if I look at my code, let me look at my book briefly. I think that is reverse Z, or it's the other way around. Which one is this? This is 0 to 1. I think this is regular. But I've got my book here, so sorry I can't visually show you what I'm doing. But I'm just going to be... If I do read something, I'll read it out loud. I can't show this book because, you know, it'd be technically breaking piracy laws. I have no idea if I display this book. Just for the reference, though, it is called Foundations of Game Engine Development, Volume 2, Rendering. So it's a theoretical book rather than like a Vulkan book. So what am I interested in? I'm interested in the reverse version of the Matrix. So yes, I can explain something like you're 5 years old. Just give me a moment to read this through and I will get back to chat and help anyone who has questions about anything. Because it does help me. So that's the plane, that's the clipping. I think it's right at the end actually. Oh, I've gone past it. So view plane exclusion. So that's the orthographical projection. I think we've gone past it if we've gone to orthographical projection. Hopefully that's a success of me finding it. So if I look at this matrix and we have view frustum, and here we have, what do we have here? We have, so I'm just looking at a book now and just seeing the difference. So this is a very different matrix, but I think it's algebraically the same as my book here. And it is... G, okay, so... Ah, right. Okay, so I think I've got it. Okay, so let me just read chat for a minute. Hi Prestige Aura. Hopefully, I don't think I've seen you before. Thank you for turning up and looking at what can you perhaps simplify what I'm looking at? This thing here is I'm not sure if you know what a matrix is. Can you explain it like at 5? So a matrix is a representation of space, like literally. If I have a chunk of space, right, and I want to say what is space? Space in mathematics is consisted of vectors. So if I take a vector, which is just a, basically if you think of it as like an arrow that points in a direction, so I don't know. Let's just say like this is a vector from this point. So here's the end of the vector. And I want to say like what's the space that this black area exists in. We say that this space exists. Other spaces, I'm talking about linear space here. So for maths heads, I'm just talking about linear space. What makes this space up is just all the vectors that we can possibly make by adding vectors. So like adding another vector like this would be like the new vector. Oops, would be like this. No, that would be the difference. Sorry. The new vector would be this one, so this is the new vector. If we added these two vectors here together, or we take this vector and we scale it, so a scaled vector would just be the same direction but longer or shorter, so that would be the next vector. This makes up the whole space. A matrix represents that space. It just contains all the possible vectors in this linear space. So we multiply vectors together to get a different type of space. And if you think about 3D games, right? We do calculations in 3D, but then we need to display it in 2D. So there's a lot of changing in spaces that we have to do from 3D to 2D to actually display the 3D world in 2D. Hopefully that is good for you, Prestige Aura. But yeah, if it's AI, I don't have any opinions on it. I've literally no idea. When it comes to Mythos, no opinion here. And also, yeah, don't get all heated about AI. Anyway, So that's what we're working on right now. We're working on trying to get the correct spatial representation of what a skybox needs to be, which is a bit tricky. It's not straightforward. Because I have a space where all the vectors, so the furthest away point in space is 1, and the closest to the camera is 0, which is, no, all the way around, sorry. The furthest away is 0, and the closest to the camera is 1, which is not typical, and it's leading to some issues when it comes to working out the direction that we need to sample over for a 3D texture, and a 3D texture is just a cube. So instead of like 2D texture, which is just an image, we have a 3D texture, and because we have a 3D texture, we need to sample over that in 3D rather than 2D, which is kind of confusing. I kind of went a bit fast near the end there, but that's the gist of what we're trying to do, and why I'm looking at matrices here, which is how we calculate a projection matrix. So this is how we fake things getting further away in 3D, and you know, they get smaller as they get further away. This is what this matrix does. It changes space from a matrix where everything's the same distance as it gets further away to a space where everything gets smaller as it gets further away, which is just like real life. So yeah, and this is all linear space, so the matrices multiply together very nicely. There's non-linear, non-Euclidean space, which I don't really care about. That's like really difficult maths that I don't care about. Anyway, so hopefully that like explains things. There's great videos on it. I can link you if you're interested. So anyway, I'm just going to read this. The projection matrix and perspective divide maps camera space depth inside the view frustum to range 0 to 1, but the mapping is non-linear. Yes, we know this. And this leads to highly uneven distribution of discrete representation values in the depth buffer. So that is just describing that the farther away values than the near values. So I'm reading a book here. Hopefully that's okay, but I will read it out loud at least. Consider the Z device is half. The halfway through the full range of depth is normalized device coordinates. We can calculate the original value of the Z camera, for which the projection matrix P frustum, which is just the view frustum matrix, which holds the camera space, produces this particular depth value by solving the equation f over f minus n minus nf minus nf over f minus n multiplied by the camera z, and the answer would be 2nf. So nf, so n is near plane, f is far plane. So the actual, when we actually do the z value, we have 2nf plus far plane plus far plane plus near plane, and this shows in figure 6.7. Oh my goodness, really? Claude accidentally deleted a company's entire production database? Oh, and people don't learn. Yeah. Never mind. In order to illustrate the disproportionality between... Yes, okay, so it's explaining what the view projection matrix is, but I want to know the consequences of this, which is not what I'm after, really. Because it has changed things. You know what I might try, guys? Crazy idea, right? Let's just go back to regular view projection matrix. That's not hard to do. And we'll be able to see if it's actually worthwhile trying to figure out the differences between the two. So the only thing I need to do now is, if I'm going to do that, is just invert everything. So if we're worrying about less than, we need to be greater, like this. So yeah, I'm just going to move to calculating the matrix. I think I'm also going to disable the skybox as well, just to make sure this works. because the skybox is just going to overwrite everything, and it's not good at the moment. So anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna work. We're gonna move our projection to not 2D, regular. Okay, so this doesn't exist. I added this, didn't use it. So when we multiply these together, what are we interested in? We're interested in, I think, a CMake. I think we define something in a CMake that tells us that. Okay, so get past all that. It tells us what direction the matrix is. Sorry, this is a bit crunchy on the maths. I know it's not the most digestible content that I'm putting out, but yeah, I do need to solve this type of stuff, and it is part of game dev. So if you are interested in game dev, you will. It is. I think it's a more of a benefit to be better at maths than it isn't. And I think people say like, yeah, you will have to know this. That's not what I'm interested in. So is there any C? Ah, no, this is what I'm interested in. So if I get rid of this, I think we have the other version, which is the default. So this is my math library that I'm using, but it has like a define that tells it to invert the calculation of the initial view projection matrix that it does. So we also need to sample from the other direction, which is instead of 1, sorry, instead of 0 in main, we go from 0 to 1. Oh no, maths. Yeah, the big loose goose. How you doing, dude? Yeah, matrices are confusing. It's hard to debug, honestly. It's if you get them wrong, it's like, what the heck's going on? I'm not good at maths, but I like learning, so I might get good eventually. Yeah, I'm on that maths grind at the moment. I'm trying to do like an hour a day, just like a casual, go through the high school maths and, you know, all the way through. When I talk about high school maths, I mean like American high school maths, because that's like, if you're going to buy a book, you end up getting American high school maths. So it's good to kind of follow what they do, but eventually branch off into geometric algebra, which is the best when it comes to game dev. What am I doing? It's just literally a clear value. It's down here. I'm thinking too hard right now. Okay, so we need to regenerate the project. Yeah, here's where I give you guys a sponsor for brilliance. Smash hard cut to my live stream giving you an advert. No, that would be funny though. I'm not a spatial enough thinker to maintain 2 4x4 grids of numbers in my head. Yeah, doing computational maths. Doing linear algebra computationally is not. I can't do it either. It's so, I can do it, but it's so not fun to do at all. Luckily you just perform the operations on them. Exactly. I think it's conceptual. Once you conceptually understand, but if you are good at maths, it does help with this particular type of issue. Anyway, let's just see what we end up rendering. So I'm from India, but high school maths doesn't seem helpful in game dev. It will if you do, like, algebra is like, that manipulation of symbols is super useful. Oh, interesting that we've got nothing rendered. Let me figure out why for a moment. Oh, you know what? I wonder if, because I got this code from OpenGL, the cube that I'm drawing is in the wrong coordinate system. So I have a hard-coded cube here. This is from an OpenGL tutorial. And if you don't know the difference between OpenGL and Vulkan, the coordinate systems are completely different. So I may have nabbed something, but it's just, these faces are not right. Okay, that's something I've got to look into. You know, I might even literally just make a model in Blender and just use that as a way to represent cube values. But anyway, because that does actually correct for... Because I just saw this here, left-handed, right-handed. Ah, yeah, because the Zs are completely different in OpenGL. And I just wonder if I'm sampling over something. Anyway, so... let's concentrate. 100%, yeah. D-Tree spot on with that. Yeah, 100% D-Tree codes, yeah. If you can do that, then you'll be set for most of game dev. But the more maths you know, the better. Oh, that's why. Okay, so we've got like this. Still wrong. Like it's a force multiplier of like 20%, I think, max. If you're terrible at game dev, it won't make you a good game dev, but it will help a ton as you get better. Like it's just like a free upgrade to your skills, like a free buff. Okay, nothing yet, but we will get there. What else do I need to do then? Wait, I might have already defined this variable. Let me just check I haven't got this in multiple places. Oh, it's in different. Yeah, okay, so it's in multiple places. That's why I was getting thrown off. So this is very important that I get this right. Because this is flipping the projection matrix. Right, reload. It's a bit loud for me, but it's cool. Just turn this down a touch. So we should now get the default version, which is what I want. I might try and find the other one, but where is it? It's the right hand. No, I think I want. So that's from 0 to, yeah. I think this is it. Oops. Let me just grab. I just want to make sure this is the one I'm looking at for like camera and stuff. Yeah, I think, yeah, okay, so we're on the right projection matrix now. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that was it. That was a big problem. Okay, still nothing, but we're gonna get there. I'm not giving up yet. We're not rendering anything. Just make sure I actually am. I don't know why the clear color's not working. That's the other thing. Okay, I just making sure that we weren't pausing accidentally. I don't know why we can't see literally anything. That's kind of confusing. Let's go to our clear values again. Just make sure that we're actually clearing the right way. So it's depth first, yes, which is 1, and stencil 0. We should be white, not black. Let's go to render doc. I didn't want to do this, but I think it'll be faster to try and debug this in render doc. Let's just, okay, quick aside before we do that. I just had a thought. Just make sure that this is legit. When we set the depth. Okay, yeah, all three are the right. They're the same. And when we do our camera calculation, when we actually get the GL projection thing. Hang on, these need to be the other way around. I always forget. This is a subtle change that you have to make to this particular type of function. Yeah, that'll do it. No, still, okay. So near and far are the right way around now for this particular version. Let's just make sure that we've got the one I care about. And I can do that by just checking the... Oh, it's -1. And the reverse set, I believe, if I go to here, is... Where's the standard matrix? I think this is how you calculate the reverse Z. Alright, we'll just roll with it and just load up RenderDoc. So RenderDoc, for those who don't know, who haven't been here before, is just a tool that shows us what's gonna be, if you've got like it's like how to debug graphics effectively. But it replays the commands that are gonna run on the GPU and kind of gives you an idea of what's supposed to be happening. But to do that, I've got to go into release and change my shaders and all that kind of stuff. So you get to bear with me while I do a bit of faff. But it's important, otherwise we won't actually get anywhere. Because I just want to see if this works in non-reverse Z, and if it's this is a worthwhile endeavor, I believe. Yeah, how did we live before RenderDoc 100% D-tree code? Oh my goodness. So let's just take our shaders that we've updated, copy them out, and go into our assets. So I'm just updating the shaders. They're not automatically copied here. So we should be now seeing black here. And I just want to see, is there something rendering on top of everything? And we won't know until... oh, is it crashing? Really? We're crashing, but we haven't done anything. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, that was... I did not expect that to happen. Okay, so that explains, like, why... I don't understand that, why that's happening. Huh, let me go to debug then. And just see... My nickname on here... my name on here is a nickname for Determinalist. And everyone elongates the E sound. Well, okay, interesting. D-tree, yeah. Determinist. Oh, whatever, you know what I mean. I said it right first time, I think. Let me take off. Give me a minute. We do have a memory leak of 3. D-tree analyst. I'll have to look up that word. Not exactly sure what it means. I think it means deterministic, right? Like, that's what I'm reading as, like, determinist versus non-determinist. Like a philosophy. Oh my goodness. Duh. I accidentally removed the rendering code. Okay. Oh, not at all. Oh, okay. There we go. Right. We are in reverse... sorry, regular... What is it called? We are in... reverse Z. Non-reverse Z. Okay, so that was just me being daft. And it's not clear. This needs to be now 1. I think. I mean, I can just add that in now. Nope. No, I don't want to do it twice, thank you. Is that not the same? Interesting. Let's just do this. Okay. I'm not seeing anything now, which is interesting. Let's just check the skybox. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot 2.0. I wonder why we're not rendering anything when we're not rendering anything. So let me just Google that. I'm kind of curious. Detrimentalist. Oh, detrimentalist. I want to slow down and actually looked. So yeah, that my dyslexia is catching up with me right there. Is that what you mean? Detrimentalist code. Got ya. Yeah, I know what you mean with the name. Oh, good man. Yeah. Like some people call me Esk Point, which is kind of strange. I don't know why. People were like, I feel like it's a lot of people use their phone and they don't know what the escape key is or something. It's like, why are you called Esk Point? What's that mean? I feel like people who use key, you know, are more familiar with you know, coding and stuff like that. Detrimentalist. Yeah, Detricode is a bit. I kind of like Detricode, but I can call you Detricode if you like. What would you prefer to be called? Detri or Detri? I can change. It's your name after all. While I turn on the skybox again. Whoa, okay, interesting. Huh? This is a truly, I do not understand what's going on. Okay, so let's just do a view matrix. We're just going to keep flying through this. And we're not going to do an inverse. Now, the so-called codes is just the channel name, I guess. I go by Dietrich with an E there. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sorry about the flashing, guys. I know it's not too bad, but let's do this. No, interesting. We're not getting anything displayed. That's not because of... I wonder why. So D-tree, yeah, alright. D-tree. I like that. I'll go with D-tree. Yeah. I really thought this would be much simpler than it is. To just have at least the same results, but... Oh, Detri. No, Detri. Okay, yeah, Detri, yeah. Just Detri. I could do that, yeah. I could do that, I can do that. Detri. Yeah, I did it again. I saw the D, and I went too hard on the E. Detri. Let's do it. Detri. Okay, let's see, what have we got then? So there's a couple of things. Let's try 0, a couple of things like that, and then I'll look at the... I think what we're being affected now is the depth testing in our... What on earth could be wrong here? Let's change this to false. Just see if we see anything. No. It's weird we're not getting anything rendered. I mean, it made sense before, but it doesn't really make sense now, as far as I can tell. Yeah, my clear color is white. Yeah. So it's not like it's like we're getting nothing rendered. Okay, let's disable this and see if we can see a cube floating around. Like, what I'm going to do is just multiply it by perspective, because that often gives us a result which is chill. to find. It's easier to find, basically. Okay, so we take this, we multiply this here, and we do project. So we should see like a cube floating around. And it shouldn't be behind the clear color, so it should be around. I think, oh, okay. That's not what I expected. Weird. Why is it here? Is that because of this? I'm a bit... No, that would be, that won't do anything. I'll just put it on top of everything. Which is the opposite of what you want in this situation. That's why you have this. Okay, so next. Okay, let's just disable this and put this here. What are you doing, sir? Oops. On comment. Thank you. Why is that complaining? Current view is undefined? What do you mean? Oh, I accidentally changed the case. Nope. Oh, okay. Right, I'll make it smaller, but oops, that's not what I... It's the opposite I wanted to do. So the flashing isn't as bad, but yeah. What the heck? Huh. Oh, let's put this to 1, maybe? That's it? Yeah, it does, it's something like that. It's some stupid maths thing that I'm getting wrong. No. Right. I'll just leave that there. Why would it be doing this? It's like the values are undefined or something. Okay, let's do it like this then. Maybe it's not column order anymore, it's like row order or something. I don't think this will change anything, but I just want to make sure that... just get rid of... Our current view is undeclared. Alright, I think we can do this if we're not going to actually assign to it. W and Z fighting. Ah, yeah, that might be it. Hi, Ratchet. How you doing, dude? On what, though? That's the question. Sorry about this flashing. I don't think it's too bad, so I'm not going to... Okay, that's a bit bad. Surely the precision, it can't be that bad for this particular matrix style. I don't quite get what we're doing here wrong. So we're clearing at 1 because we've changed the perspective. Is that not what it wants to do? Ugh. Surely this is normal. No, they're not used, these values. What am I doing wrong? I don't know. It's yes, it doesn't work, but we're not on reverse Z anymore. I'm trying it in non-reverse Z projection matrix. And for some reason, when I've done that, all my things go screwy. I just want to see if there's actually a way to do this without reverse Z for now. So this is the normal pipeline. This is the skybox. Oh, false. Hang on. I don't know how long that was disabled, but that might be it. No. Nope. I didn't do anything. Yeah, if it's so easy for the tutorials to just do this effectively, I want to see it. If we use their same projection matrix, still can't see any success with it. In my opinion, has zero downside. It's literally yes, 100%. But what I'm trying to do is just see if. So yes, you are right with the zero. I will move back. I'm not going to abandon this. What I'm trying to do here is figure out, is the mistakes, is the mathematical difference, is the reason that Skybox completely going wrong, is it actually to do with the difference in the perspective matrices? And I need to be able to render at least something that makes sense to see that case unfold. But right now we're just getting like you said, Z fighting in the Z and W. I don't know about why, maybe all of them. I was also thinking about this, right? So the Learn OpenGL tutorial is based on the OpenGL coordinate system. Now I'm kind of nervous in the fact that if I'm copying an OpenGL tutorial or trying to take notes from it at least, is the coordinate system that I'm working with completely screwing me up here? To me, it looks like Z fighting. Yeah, I would agree with you. It does look like Z fighting. Now you said it. Then I was able to recognize it, but I don't understand why we're getting Z fighting on a cube that should be rendered. I mean, let's just do the view matrix, which I think you're working with, and I'll put zeros there as well. But when we do this, we see nothing. Absolutely nothing. It does not matter. When this is 0, and we zoom out again. Oh, it renders on top of everything, but it renders like. Let me change the. No, not that. Yeah, when it's 1, I think we just get some kind of collision. No, collision, multiplication. It just breaks everything. Yeah. Vulkan N. What's NDCs? That's not the canonical view port, right? Yeah, I don't know what NDC is. When it's 1 is when we get Z fighting. Normalized device coordinates. Okay, right. Where is that in the matrix space hierarchy? I think it's the it's not the same as the canonical viewport, is it? Or have I just got like a different name for the same? I don't know if I've got a different name for the same thing. I thought they were, that's where the differences are. I'm with you on that one, by the way. I am aware that OpenGL has difference, but I don't know. Yes, it's set it to 1. Oh, you're talking about this, yeah. If this is set to 1, it just disappears off the face of the earth. Hi Madhu, how you doing, dude? Hopefully your Vulkan is going well. I saw you making progress on your personal development front. Tree code. What do we do? I'm saying that just to try and remember your name, not yeah, well, it needs to be 1 now that the depth is non-reversed. On my PC, can't get it to work on my laptop. Only on PC, yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes that graphics driver difference makes a difference. Okay, let me just think about what you just said there. How do I fix this then? Right, I'm going to undo this reverse set thing. Non-reverse set, sorry. I think this was a road to nowhere. And what I'm going to tackle is... yeah, it's an easy fix. There's only 3 things to fix. Greater than or equal to... and... yep. And... give me 1 minute, almost done. Zero, and then the camera. Yep, beep, 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 beep. Right, we should be back. Reverse said. And then we're going to do... oops, sorry, wrong. Let's get out of this. Cancel. Sorry, we missed something. I just want to... reload, yeah, we don't want to reload. Shaders. Turn this to 0. Get rid of this. Put this here. Cool. That's what I needed to do for that. That's now going to be reverse Z compatible. Okay, so the viewport is not here for some reason. Oh, did I not? Okay, I'm just going to bring this back because it does the same thing, but I want to make sure that... oh, hang on. Does it need to be 0? It needs to be 0, so what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? That's wrong. That's right now. Okay, so that did make a difference. This made a difference. Cool. Alright, so this is our skybox. We're currently in this state where we're sampling the same pixel, I believe, over and over again. The only way to figure that out is to display this thing in the fragment shader. What are you coming out to be when we sample? So it could be the sampler, but I think it's the coordinates, to be honest. Sorry, vec4. And then 1.0. Blue. Yeah, everything's blue. So it's the same value over and over again. Whoa, okay. Why did it go black? So I'm going to keep it like that. And we're just going to try and work around this. Now we've done that. Alright. Next question is to figure out, is this cube even correct? Like, I need a Vulkan cube. What was it originally? Okay, so negative over there. Let's grab this back. So this is the original. Okay. Put that back. I doubt it'll make any difference. So I'm just displaying, I'm not displaying the skybox here, I'm displaying the coordinates to sample over. And XYZ, right. So I don't know how to get the direction. Assuming that we're correct, the direction vector is just completely wrong. It's just not getting, we're not getting anything out of it. I'm planning to get a new laptop anyways. Oh, okay, cool. However, I learned a lot of debugging skills whilst trying to get the Intel UHD graphics 620 to work on modern Vulkan. Yo, that's a success. That's W's that, honestly. Okay, so I'm gonna assume this is just correct, right? And then we're gonna. What do I need to do then? No, it's the sampling. It's nothing to do with that. Sorry, it's this thing. This isn't gonna work. Oh, it could be any of these lines, to be honest. It's like we get the same vector out, but then if inverts. Yeah, sounds good. I can turn the music down. Thanks for letting me know. I will just slide that down. Yeah, let me know how that sounds and I'll continue. Oh, you don't even hear the music? Oh. I've turned it down. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know why Detry wouldn't be hearing the music. I can hear it, but I don't know. It's a tricky one. If no one else can hear the music, I might. Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, so here's the thing. I know it seems stupid, but it just should work. There's nothing complicated about this. Yet here we are. So it could be any of these things here. Now, I'm just kind of nervous now that the. How would I know? How would I know if this cube's like? Good or not? What should it? I don't. So it's always the same value except for 2 different occasions. I know it seems funny, but like, I just don't understand why this multiplication is always 1 or whatever it is supposed to be. It's always like 0, 0, 0 or 1, 1, 1. I'm just going to stare at this a bit. Let's get rid of this and just see how that affects the actual drawing. Do we get a... No. Okay. Doubt this makes any difference, but I'll do it anyway. It doesn't sound like the second argument 0, 0. Hang on, let me see. Let me scroll up a bit. As far as I'm aware, right? If I go to my Discord, this is our little Discord. This is what a working skybox is doing. So we have current view, which is just the current view view matrix, not view projection matrix. This one. We cycle over that and we get the position out, and then we multiply the position by 0 in the W component, multiplied by the current view. And then apparently that is what we need to do. I don't think anything else. The rest is to do with motion vectors, and I think to do with temporal anti-aliasing, not temporal. It's not necessarily temporal. And uses XYW. Interesting. I wonder if I need to do XYW then. I don't know. Doubt it, but okay, I got excited then because I thought I saw something, but it's just now the vector is completely black all the time. I have no clue what's going on. It's switching between black and blue because the direction vector, which is supposed to be sampling over a cube, has the same value except for in two different places. So it has a blue value and has a black value, and I'm just displaying that to debug what's going on instead of the actual texture, because the texture would just be like a grey, like a browny grey thing, or a brown black kind of thing, I should say. That's more accurate color wise. Right. If we say this is like 100% correct, this implementation, and this is what you should do, then XYW, I guess, we should roll with this, and we have to assume other things are wrong. Which I think is this, maybe. I think what I might do is export a cube to waveform and then save with the open Vulkan viewport, and then see if we can do something with that. So Blender, we don't need anything other than data. Waveform is just a very simple format. So when we export the cube to waveform, we can open up a text and see what the actual values are and the indices and stuff, and we can kind of use that based on our exported assuming that we get the right export for our particular coordinate system. And that's going to be the tricky part, just to see the canonical viewports. Alright, go to this, go to this. Where are we? Okay, so we have a cube, but we've got to be careful here that we get this right. Forward, up, right. So this is the thing we need to get correct. In Vulkan, In Vulkan, what are the up and forward vectors? No. Components in RNDC. So I don't think, I think the AI is just going to give us a so down is Vulkan's default left-hand coordinate is y plus down. So if we look at this, what do we have? We have y and we have regular y. Okay. And z out of the screen. Behind the default view. I think that's it. I think Blender might actually have the right values. Right, so we're just gonna export. What do we call this? Unsaved or something? Yeah, untitled. So we should see in here something we can nab. Unused materials. So there's our vertices. And we need the indices, to be honest. So we have normals, texture coordinates, and we need 36. So this is 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 times 6 is 18. And we do this 4 times. So we actually need this to be 2. Why do we have so many? I know. Vertex, normal, texture. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's it. 1, 5, 7, 3. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you take this and you throw this into, because yeah, 4 times 4 times 8 is 36, which I think is what we want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So that's 24. That's not quite right. This might not be what I think it is. I mean, the simplest thing we can do here, I guess, is just no. I really just want to load the. What are the indices? Right, let's get rid of texture coordinates and stuff. And then we have less data to work with. So no, apply, no. Okay, we're gonna export again. Yes. Okay, that's a lot easier to work with. Really, that makes a cube. 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then by 4. Yeah, okay. Really, that makes a cube. Maybe this is just more efficient. I don't know. Let's do this again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So vec 3. Oops. Vec 3. And obviously we need to get rid of all these the zeros, pointless. And this. And of course we have the issue of this and this. Negative number. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. That's a double click mistake. Okay, so go down here, delete this. F. Gotta pay respects. F. Commas. Oops. And this. Get rid of the last one. So we have 8. This is going to be pos 2. What's wrong? Expecting unexpected floating points. Okay, maybe we can't do that. Not that it matters. 0. Alright, I'm just going to compile that and just see what the error actually is and then Google it. Oh, sorry. Oh, commas between them. Thank you. I didn't see that. Thank you for pointing that out in chat. Simple mistake. I've been going blind. Hate it when you go blind to stuff like that. It's like... Anyway, indices. So, apparently this makes up a cube, so we'll see. According to waveform. I've just noticed there's no zeros. I've got an idea. A bit of a mad idea. Mm-hmm. 120. That'll be possible, won't it? Okay. Nope, still bad in every way, in every conceivable way. Yeah, sorry, I didn't quite look at chat before. That's why I missed that. Okay, let's keep the music flowing. I think I might just skip this one. Let me just look up something real quick on my other computer. It won't take me long at all. Right, so Shinobi 3 time, yeah. It's just on random. I just wanted to move on from that track. Right. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do next? let's go back to POS, I guess. What I'm trying here is I'm just seeing if there is a difference between them and just seeing if we index through them differently. Because the problem is this looks I know it seems funny, but I've looked at this and I've seen this before, right, where you make a triangle face of a so let me so if I have a rectangle and I have a triangle, rectangle like this, and the indices are, I don't know if I can make a paint work. Zip. No, I want paint. I want the paintbrush. 0. I think it's 1, 2, 3. If I look at this, oops, I go 0, 0, 1. 0, 1, 2. Yeah, that's the first. Oops, sorry. So it's. Hang on. Let me fix this a minute. Y. I press Y. So I'm gonna fill this in black, and do the other way around. So it's not. I got that. I got this slightly wrong. It's the other way around. Let me grab this. Go white. Go this way, which is the actual how it's constructed. If I go to paint, I go 0. Let's change the thing. 0, 1, 2, right? So I go this way. Oops. I go up here. And then I go back to, what's next? I go 0, 1, 2, and then 2 goes to... Come back, paint, where are you? So we reuse 2, we go to 2, so this is also... And then 3, and then 0. So this to me like makes sense, as far as I can tell. Obviously it's not like we travel across this line, it's just like we just skip. But we are reusing this to make 2 triangle faces. So yeah, each triangle makes a face with 2 common vertices, which is correct. And I think what this waveform thing is doing is it's compressing data. So if we need to reuse this vertices again, I don't think it adds it in, and I think that's what's happened. And if I look at this, copy this in, I think we would see duplicate vertices here and nowhere else. Let me correct that then. So in the vertices then, this is like, is it 5, 5? Let me copy this out. So to copy this, it would be 5. Yeah, okay. So it's 5. This is 3. This is 7. This is 2. This is 1. And this is 5 for us. And we need to minus 1 from all these. So 0, 4, 4, 6, 2. So that's actually correct for this particular pattern. We have 3, 2, 2, 6, 7. So we have 7, 6, 6, 4, 5. Okay. And we have 5, 1, 1, 3, 7. 1, 0, 0, 2, 3. And then we have 5, 4, 4, 0, 1. Okay, so that's actually the vertices that we need for this particular pattern. As far as I can tell, when we're using these instead, right? As far as I can tell, if we're making a cube, that's exact. Like, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. It's a bit too much. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's actually 6. And then we repeat the last vertex. So yeah, there's a lot of there's some compression that's gone on here. But if we're gonna get to 36, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ugh. Is there repeating faces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, 36. 6 times 6. All right. We got this. We got this. So. Right. And we're going to take this. This is some like strange. But don't you need materials as triangles? No. No, not for this. No. I just want to construct a triangle that's in the correct coordinate system. That doesn't use OpenGL's coordinate system. Which currently we do, so I think anyway, indices 2. So if you're using position 2, we want to use indices 2 as well. And we want to actually see this cube. Let's just see what happens anyway. And right, let's see what this cube looks like. Because we have a cube here now. We want to see. As far as I can tell, that's what we're trying to do here. Let me think. What am I trying to do? We want to turn off this. But we want to have projection in here, because that's typically like the most visible for our matrix. And you didn't... Oh, view doesn't exist. Of course. Right, let's see. What does that look like? I wouldn't mind too much if the... That's clearly wrong, but what I want to see is the textures blending properly without going crazy. Yeah, nice geometry, thank you. I made it myself. You see that? You see that, gang? I think... Oh, no, it's not. Ah, it's the same texture everywhere. It looks interesting, but it's not. It's just rendering. We're just rendering the same thing over and over again. Oh, what a waste of time, dude. Ah, so disappointing. I was so excited for a minute. Ah, never mind. I thought I had it then. I thought we had something. Right. No, that... I could just try this and just throw this in here and just see what the differences are. I'm kind of curious. This is just... I was so excited then. Yeah. But if we, you know, go back to this. What we're seeing is this. Right? That's why I got excited. I was like, oh, that's it. No. We're just seeing a straight image. It's just like we're losing a component on rotation. I mean, I could do this, but that just breaks everything in like a strange way. And okay, it doesn't do anything. Even though he is, why did it not do anything? Weird. So if I render this in the fragment shader, I feel like we get. I know I keep saying this, but if I can just get the rotation to work with this, then I think we've cracked it. I'm just going to stick with this for a bit longer. Hopefully you can bear with me. So now we just need 1.f. So we're just going to see from pink to blue, I think. So blue up here and then pink at the bottom. Yeah, so this is like a texture that isn't rotating. The slight interpolation here are the corners of the cube. But the problem is we got the same texture coordinates for every single position. And we just need to preserve the rotation and then we're done. Like, that's it. But somehow we're losing the rotation. Oh, I think I know why. And I think it's just going to put us back to square one, effectively. Now the rotation is preserved, right? But look. I know it's just a different... No, I'm lying. This is just a different face. What the heck? Oh, but that's what I mean. We're like missing the rotation. How do I preserve that? Maybe you have to respect the right hand rule. I thought that too, but I don't think that has anything to do with what we're trying to do. I just think we in this somehow in this matrix multiplication we lose the rotation, and right, we can get it back technically if I set this to 1, right? But that's just what ends up happening there is just it goes to junk. We just get yeah, you can see it there. We're still on the same thing, but the green and the red have moved. That's the only difference. And what actually should be displaying is this. Okay, I could be completely lying there. Didn't see a change. Let's see. Okay, so that is the original thing that broke ages ago. We have this on 0. What was the... X, not 2, W. Don't you need to normalize the vector? Yeah, let's try it. Screw it. Normalize XYZ. That's interesting. And if we normalize it with the W, Interesting. We get an interesting effect. We don't get the right effect. Yeah, what on earth? I've been saying that. Yeah, this is a very... I feel like I need to go into a cave for 6 weeks and just study maths the whole time. And then come out like understanding this instantly. Nauseating. Yes, it is, isn't it? Thamu. Hope you're having a great day. I will not be running that effect again. A lot of these effects have been grossing me out as well, admittedly. Yeah, and this just does not do anything. I think we've been here like 1,000 times now. Yeah, we just get 2 different versions. I mean, I could normalize it as well. You know, let's, like I said, trial and error day. It's a trial and error day. Oops. Spelling it in the British way. That's just not going to get any results. Okay, let's try again. Spelled normal wrong. Just checking out what Vulkan is. I don't really know. Okay, so Vulkan... I'll explain if you like. Vulkan is a graphics API that allows us to talk to the graphics card. So when we're doing... when we want the graphics card to do something, we have to send commands to the graphics card via Vulkan. And yeah. So Vulkan talks to the graphics drivers for us. And yeah, then we can do graphics. And you get this very mediocre looking scene where everything's just brown because my Vulkan implementation of what I'm trying to do is not right. Yeah. You can think of the graphics card as a separate computer. It has its own processor and it has its own RAM. So we need ways to communicate with it that are consistent. That is our goal when we're actually doing this. So what I'm editing right now is a shader, and a shader is just a program that runs on the... Oof, what is going on here? A shader is just a program that runs on the GPU. Yeah, Vulkan is an interface. We need to orchestrate how we talk to the GPU. I'm going to throw this in here. Vulkan is like a library or what? I don't know. C++. More. I'm more of a Python guy. Yes, Vulkan is a library that we do load, but it's also implemented. There's also like part of what Vulkan does is it's in the graphics driver as well. So the library loads like the instance, and then we send off commands. But like the graphics driver has like a Vulkan implementation thing that we can talk to. So it's like 2 things. It's like a library and an API interface into the actual hardware of the GPU. In the original days, like in OpenGL, which is like older, it literally is just like function calls that you would call that the graphics driver. So you'd call like draw vertex, and that would be like a function that's in the graphics driver itself, and you would draw vertex, and then that would be ran. But now it's a bit more. There's a bit more going on since then. Yeah. So when, you know, games, for example, newer games might not work, not because your graphics driver is... Sorry. A newer game might not work because your graphics driver is out of date. And it's kind of, you know, because it's trying to use stuff that the graphics driver is implemented. Even if your graphics driver can do the things Why are we zeroing Z? That is to put the skybox behind everything. In the Z component. That's what this is for, yeah. If we didn't do that, if we did 1, for example, it would be in front of everything, and we wouldn't see anything else other than that skybox. Yeah, so that's what that's there for. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I'm trying to challenge my assumptions here. Okay, real nutcase idea. Real nutcase idea. What happens if we just put the projection matrix in? With no view matrix. Okay, so we just get a different... As far as I can tell, we get a different texture. Oh, you know what? I haven't turned on the debugging. Let me turn that back on. I just realised there's nothing printing to the console. There we go. And next thing to do is this. Yeah, okay, so now we've got debug on. Yeah, that was a mistake. So some people can't hear this music, but yeah. I do have a music playlist playing in the background. Let's see. So another question is the position 1. What is position 1 exactly? Is it the skybox? Yeah, I think the part of the problem is the W is always a value that's not. So for example, if I go to our code again, look at this. The W value. If I look at the W value, I think it's always the same value. I think it's always the same, and I think that's part of the problem. But I don't know. It's weird that the projection matrix just... I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Why is just the projection matrix doing something exactly the same as a view projection matrix calculation? Don't know. Let me just check something. So project and view projection. I'm kind of nervous now that projection and view projection are the same thing. Let's get rid of this. We never use this. And that would be a... Right, so we're just going to make sure that when we actually calculate the projection, it's not just automatically become the view projection. So calculate projection, sure. Right, no, okay. So when I do this, though, does the matrix that comes out isn't affected, is it? Because that would be annoying. No destination. Okay, so what spits out is R, and that's returned. Okay, so when we set the projection, we have perspective matrix though. That's not the same as projection. Are we getting a full hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, hang on a minute. Surely that's project, right? This returns a vec3. Oh no, that's a vector projection. Perspective. Dinner time indeed. As a beginner, should I start with OpenGL or Vulkan? If you want to learn Vulkan, I don't recommend starting with OpenGL. I recommend starting with Vulkan. But if you're a beginner in general, I recommend learning C++ or a language of your choice that uses. No, no, no. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm losing my mind a bit. I'm losing my mind. What's the difference between the two? OpenGL is older and in theory has less features, but it's easier to use and easier to program. If you want to learn Vulkan, sorry, if you want to learn, sorry, there's two different outcomes here. Sorry, let me back up. A lot of people say that they want to learn Vulkan, so then they actually try to learn OpenGL first, and they say that that's going to help them learn Vulkan. That is a mistake that no one should make. If you just want to make a little renderer, OpenGL is much easier. And if you don't really care about being on the bleeding edge of technology and you just want to make like a cool little renderer, then go with OpenGL 100% of the time. It's just easier to use. But if you're trying to do multi-threading and get more advanced, then you want to be using Vulkan. So it really depends on where you're going to go with that. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, I kind of jumped the gun with that answering that question. Yeah, if you're learning OpenGL to learn Vulkan, that's like a terrible idea. But it is a common thing that people try to do. So from C++ I can jump. Yes. Without issue is... Vulkan is difficult, by the way, just so you're aware. But it depends on what you're going to make. Are you just going to make like a game? Like, what I'm trying to do here could be done in OpenGL, by the way. I just want to use like threading in the future and stuff like that. Which is harder to do in OpenGL. So it's like I'm planning for the future. So if you want to like do like, oh, I want to have a space scene and then fly around in some rocks or whatever, like this is totally doable in OpenGL. You don't need to have Vulkan to do this. However, like I said, I'm planning for the future. Yeah. So you can jump into it, no problem. When I say no problem, I mean you won't have any issues learning Vulkan because you don't know OpenGL. But you probably will have problems in the sense that it's difficult to do. It's difficult to learn. You just got to stick with it though. I'm learning. That's why I'm here streaming. Like I don't come in here hopefully trying to present like I'm a genius or something like that. I'm here just like everyone else, just trying to learn. And you can see, you know, that's a great path what you've chosen here, Kalia, 100%. That's also a way of doing it. Yeah, maths will help, and graphics theory helps as well. Like I'm probably struggling from lack of graphics theory, to be honest, which is doing me in. I'm from the UK. Where are you from, dude? We need the W of the inside of the face, the skybox, right? Let me think about that. We need the W of the inside of the cube. We need the W of the inside face of the skybox, right? I don't know. This is the thing. A lot of this has been trial and error, but I think I just don't know what's going wrong. It's so difficult to debug for me because it's on the GPU, so it's all happening on the GPU. I don't know what the values need to be to get this vector to sample over a 3D cube. It's just tricky for me, and I don't like. I could just change the values to get the direction vector different, but that just leads to a similar crazy result. And let's go back to a projection, because apparently that doesn't make any difference. So like W or XYZ, and that makes no difference. I'm trying to study engineering maths right now. Oh, good luck, honestly. From India, nice. Oh, interesting. So that's changed. Why is that different now? Oh, XYW is... Okay, that's why it's making it different. Right. Okay, so that makes way more sense. Next. Insert. Press the insert key. Okay, that everything makes sense again. Holy, I was getting so confused. Because I was saying, like, why does this multiplication by camera view do the same as view projection multiplication? Which it shouldn't do, because I was like, what? Okay, so that's helped me understand something. If I do a multiplication here, and okay, this is the wrong way around, but I just want to see something different. Plus for game engine development, you need to learn architecture too. Yeah, that would be useful. You just need to, I know it seems funny to say this, but you just need to be a good programmer in general. Yeah, that's just wrong, so. Cool. It's like, duh, obviously, but yeah, it's... Right, I'm just gonna... No, it's just, we've gone to infinite now, which is not good. But yeah, the W component just leaves us with the Z component equal to 1, so we just end up with this single face. Okay, so that's what's happening now. I kind of understand that now. New effect unlocked, yeah. We'll get there. We're getting all the effects but the one we need. I'm gonna quickly share my Discord server for anyone watching. You can join. Anyone's welcome. You just have to be chill. And I'm going to call it here, gang, and just do a bunch of studying on graphics and do a bunch of maths and try and come back with this fresh pair of eyes. There's something I'm just not getting right when it comes to this. And I think, yeah, we need to go. Don't go yet. Okay. I can hold on just a little bit longer, but what do you need to say? Mado, do you need to tell me something? If not, I do have to go anyway. What is the effect you're trying to achieve? Oh, just a standard skybox. So, I don't know. Let's go quickly learn OpenGL. Yeah, I'll explain this briefly. And then, yeah, we're going to have to... So, cube face... This, right? That's it. Yeah, so after this I'm going to have to go, yep. Okay. I will post this in chat for you. There you go. Yes, so thanks for watching, guys. Honestly, it's very much appreciated. Thanks for anyone who subscribed. Thanks for anyone who's liked and commented this on the screen, on the stream. My project is below if you're interested in looking at the source code. And yeah, join the Discord. Anyone's welcome as long as you chill. So yeah, I will see you. I will study offline. Yep. And yeah, good luck and have a good rest of the day, everyone. So see you.